Viewers in Estacada say gang and white supremacist graffiti is popping up all over their high school.
Start your day with KATU News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 7.
Identity theft. 2 Salem homes reported calls yesterday afternoon from people who they believe were trying to steal their identity. They claim the caller asked for their credit and debit card numbers. In both cases, people never gave out the information, which of course you should never do. Remember, legitimate banks and credit card companies already have your information. They do not need you to give it to them over the phone. People in Salem who have received these types of calls can call the Attorney General's Consumer Hotline. We have the phone number on your screen, 503-378-4320. Again, 503-378-4320.
Gotta watch out for those people. Also, polls are open in many parts of Washington tomorrow as part of the state's new primary election. Some state offices are on the ballot, but what's on the ballot depends on actually where you live. One local issue on the ballot is in Clark County. It's a property tax hike which could pay for a new rail line to the Port of Vancouver. Now, that rail line, we're told, could help lure a giant vehicle distribution center, which could bring almost 1,200 new jobs to the area. For information about where you need to go to cast your ballot or the issues or offices you may be voting on, just call your local election office.
Now, this could be interesting. Tire technology similar to what you may see in a James Bond movie.
Yeah, the local guy who's developed studded tires that work at the push of a button.
We will tell you how much rain has fallen in the past 2 days, and of course, when the transition takes us back to summer, that's coming up. At KATU News, we enjoy Northwest weather.
That's why we give you a detailed, accurate forecast.
To plan your day and plan for the week ahead.
That's how we're on your side.
With Rhonda in the morning.
And Rod at night.
Only on KATU News.
Jeep Eagle.
Just imagine toughing winter roads without having to change tires or deal with the hassles of snow change that might become a reality thanks to a new tire technology from a local man.
The pain and agony of putting on chains was something that I wanted to avoid from many, many years ago.
John O'Brien, the founder and director of KATU Tires, says it was over 30 years of Oregon winters that gave him the idea. But it's not just the convenience the tires offer. O'Brien says safety also a factor. The tires keep people in their cars off the roads, and they save money by reducing the wear and tear on highways. The tires use what's called Celsius technology, and here's how it works.
If it becomes snowy or icy and he needs additional traction or she needs additional traction, push a button, a radio signal is sent to a valve inside the tire. The studs are activated. When the need to have these studs goes away, the button is pushed in the other direction and the studs retract.
Now, the KATU tires will cost about 30% more than a similar premium tire. The tires will roll into stores sometime this winter.
Gas prices have remained steady despite Hurricane Dean making its way across the Caribbean. Some oil companies have evacuated workers from the area, which could cause prices to rise because production will drop. While the impact should not be as hard as after Hurricane Katrina, experts say you could start seeing those prices increase by at least a few pennies sometime this week. Taking a look at prices today, according to AAA, the average in Oregon, $2.75. In Washington, it's at $2.82. National average is at $2.76.
Other stories from across America today. Things are not getting any easier for the folks in Minnesota. Flooding from heavy rains has carried houses down hills, washed out train tracks, and created sinkholes in several roads. At least 6 people have been killed from those storms. Thousands have had to leave their homes.
Owners of million-dollar homes near Ketchum, Idaho, are watching a wildfire burning about a mile away. Firefighters are spending most of the day making sure that fire doesn't come any closer to those homes or any other building. The 14,000-acre fire has forced 100 homes to be evacuated.
Rod Hill's back with us, and Rod, you really have to help me out here.
Yes.
Natalie, when's the sun going to come
Not
back?
just Natalie. I met lots of people over the weekend who are just begging for a sunny weekend.
Well, tomorrow we slowly pull out of this. Then Wednesday, the sun comes back out. And then Thursday, it gets warm. Won't that be fantastic? All right, outside right now, we still have storm alert Doppler radar showing it's a drippy evening out there. This has been the case all day, and it continues to be into the evening hours. There's not much in the way of measurable rainfall. You can see a few specks of green with some heavier showers. Of course, here is I-5, basically dry, but mixed in with drizzle in most spots are a few showers. Here's one just north of Aurora. And, of course, everything is continuing to move off from west to east. Pretty dry in the downtown Portland area, but still reports of drizzle in spots that the radar is not picking up. Take a look at them. These are the rainfall totals from the past 2 days, yesterday and today in Portland, 0.46. You know, technically, we're still below normal rainfall-wise for the month of August. Yeah, how shocking is that? Scappoose 0.94. The reason, because most of our precipitation this time of year comes with some convective activity, thunderstorms. Haven't had much, you know, if you think about it. That's why we've been kind of below normal. 63 right now at the coast. This is what it's been like all afternoon, just specks of drizzle covering up the lens. It's dry right now in Hood River, but earlier 0.36 inches of rain for you folks, and the evening outlook continuing to have just drippy weather out there. It'll be about 60 at 10 o'clock tonight. Here are the highs today. Everybody in the 60s, 67 in Portland. And notice from Astoria where it's 67 to Pendleton where the high today was 65. All of Oregon and Washington under the same cloud flow and the same cool, moist weather flow. Here's the spotlight. I'm watching. Notice these are little disturbances, if you will, areas out to sea. This red line right here, I believe, is the back edge of the best chance for major precipitation. That comes through this evening. But because a weakening jet flow is still dragging all of this over us, tomorrow will be a very gradual pull out of the clouds and a very gradual warm-up. Our rain cloud forecast tomorrow showing some rain up around Seattle in the morning. Otherwise, notice the thicker cloud cover and chance of rain is all pretty much north of Oregon over the next couple of days. So improving weather around the corner. Now, the Associated Press has just reported from the Hurricane Center, let me update this, that Hurricane Dean is now a Category 5 with winds of 160 miles per hour. This eye is about 20 miles wide in diameter. You can see it right there off the edge of my finger. And again, the track taking it south of Cancun, but hitting the Yucatan Peninsula as a Category 5 hurricane. First thing tomorrow morning or later overnight tonight. So they're looking for a course of upwards of 10 inches of rain on that peninsula, and the storm surge battering the coastline could be as high as 18 feet in some areas. Boy, 60s along the coast tomorrow. Again, thick clouds in the morning, a touch of drizzle perhaps, but then the sun starts to mix with the clouds during the day, especially the central coast tomorrow. Excellent chance of eventually going quite sunny. In the Willamette Valley tomorrow, up in southwest Washington, highs in the 70s. Again, maybe a speck of drizzle in the morning, but then slowly starting to see the clouds thin and some sun mixing in. Dry up in the mountains after some morning drizzle, and then all areas east of the Cascades, just kind of a typical partly cloudy day. 80 in Redmond. Temperatures warmer than today, but still certainly on the cool to comfortable side for this time of the year. I mean, Burns, that's a pretty nice day, 82 degrees. 83 in Hermiston, so again, no one's starting to really warm up that much. West winds through the entire Columbia River Gorge. Tomorrow, Hood River will be about 75, the same in Stevenson. So in Portland, you wake up in the morning, it'll be in the upper 50s, cloudy skies, could be some drizzle around, and then during the day, the sun starts to break up the clouds. We'll get up to around 76. Here comes our 5-day forecast. Wednesday, could be clouds early, but should be a day that starts to clear out by about 10:30 and then in the morning, and then eventually going perfectly clear. 84 on Thursday, 87 on Friday. For those of you who love it, and right now the weekend looks dry, but cooling back down with the potential of highs only in the 70s this Saturday and Sunday. Time to play again, it looks like.
Well, we just continue. We need to thank so many of our viewers and local businesses who continue to help us out with Friends of the Children. Our school drive continues to help children who have been identified as at risk. Friends of the Children gives them a mentor, helps them out, get a fresh start with school supplies. And so we want to say thank you. These day-timers came in, and even the folders you're holding, Steve, from Staples along Highway 217. So if you're out there, lovely ladies Friday night donated all these things. Their general manager, Rich, over there. Thank you so much. All these other items, you know, Fred Meyer, Safeway, Albertsons, Columbia Sportswear. It's just been great.
You got to love these folders. The University of Oregon and Oregon State Beavers on here. Cool. You got to, if you open up the Oregon one, it says, "If you're a good young football player, contact us."
This is our number.
You think that's going too far?
You got to have them fight,
This is the
Steve.
address. If you can drop off or mail new school supplies, keep these neat, you guys. They must be new.
I'm sorry.
New school supplies to Friends of the Children. This is the address, 44 Northeast Morris. They need all the basics you can think of: the crayons, the papers, the backpacks, the calculators, the day planners they use nowadays. I tell you.
He started the fight. It wasn't me.
Oregon, so I was going to have them fight again. She doesn't like that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Meantime, tonight it was back to class, but a time to reflect for students and staff at Virginia Tech. Fall classes started today, marking the first traditional semester since Sung Wee Cho killed 32 people back in April. Tonight, some of the students involved in the massacre talk exclusively to ABC News about their road to recovery, both physically and mentally. That's coming up at 6 o'clock on World News.
Still ahead, a new link to the cause of obesity. Next, how a virus could be making your waistline bigger.
Tomorrow on AM Northwest.
Do you stash and dash? Clean out the clutter with tips for organizing the utility room. And rev up your body's engine. Learn how to have more energy the natural way.
Watch tomorrow at 9.
With a new Volkswagen, you get more features than you get with other cars. At Ray Reese Volkswagen, you can lease any one of these cars starting at $179 a month. So head east to Ray Reese Volkswagen on the corner of 122nd and East Burnside. Drivers wanted.
Hey, Dex. There's something different about you. Did you get a haircut?
Nope.
Have you been working out? Well, something's different.
Well, now that you mention it, I do have a couple new features. I've got a great new way of comparing businesses side by side and a new way of mapping your way around town.
Those are nice features.
Thanks. Do I, really look like I've been working out?
Not so much.
Oh, the new DexKnows.com, the smartest local search on the web. Click on Compare and Maps for a better look at the most complete local info. Dex knows.
It's the Chevy Model Year-End event, where you'll find the best offer ever on the all-new Silverado. 0% APR for 60 months on Silverado half-ton extended and crew cabs for well-qualified buyers. Just click and go to Chevy.com to find the Silverado you want. Then get to your Chevy dealer before it's gone. Get 0% financing for 60 months on an all-new 07 Silverado half-ton extended cab or crew cab for well-qualified buyers. Click on Chevy.com. Then see your participating Northwest Chevy dealer.
What am I supposed to do about gas prices?
Ride a moped to work? Use my kid's skateboard for errands?
Makes me think twice about where I drive, but I don't think twice about where I shop.
I go to Walmart. They've got unbeatable prices on everything.
I need those savings. Now more than ever.
Look, gas prices are crazy, but paying more than I have to for everything else?
Well, that's really crazy.
I'm a lot of things, but not crazy.
With a new Volkswagen, you get more features than you get with other cars. Now at Ray Reese Volkswagen, you can take home any one of these 3 cars for less than $17,000. So head east to Ray Reese Volkswagen on the corner of 122nd and East Burnside. Drivers wanted.
ABC diagnosed 12 stars with the same fever. Boogie fever. But who would those stars be? Dancing with the Stars, the announcement, coming soon on ABC. Start here.
To your health, we know poor diet, a lack of exercise, and genetics can all play a role in obesity. But as K2's Deborah Knapp shows us, it could also come from a virus. Deborah.
Well, apparently exposure to a common virus, similar to ones that cause colds and pink eye, may be helping to expand America's waistline. The virus is called 8036. It can cause some human fat cells to multiply very quickly and tell the cells to produce even more fat. Studies on this virus have shown people who test positive are also more likely to be obese than people who test negative. You can get a blood test to see if you're infected, but the virus cannot be cured. Americans are popping pain pills at a higher rate than ever before. From 1997 through 2005, sales of the 5 major painkillers jumped 90%. More than 200,000 pounds of painkillers were purchased in 2005. That's enough to give 300 milligrams to every person in the country. Researchers say an aging population and marketing are the 2 major factors in this increase. Natalie?
All right, Deborah, thank you. It is the first day of football practice for high school athletes across the state, but it's a bad day for student athletes in Springfield. Coming up on local news at 6:30, how a weekend prank has left the team with thousands of dollars in ruined equipment. Join us at 6:30 for the Northwest Only all local newscast right here on K2.
And before we leave you tonight, boy, they are cute. I'm not talking about these two, although I could be, though. I could. They made for quite a day today in San Francisco. Kids lined up at the zoo for the annual March of the Penguins.
Oh.
The 4 young penguins waddled to their new home at Penguin Island. All 4 were hatched earlier this year. One by one, they got into the water and started swimming with the other penguins. And by the way, San Francisco has the largest colony of penguins of any zoo in America.
They are cute. And we can waddle and swim.
Waddle.
Let's see it. Yeah. Stay with us. ABC World News Tonight is coming up next.
Have a great night.